And finally, my mother got fed up with me and she decided to ship me back to Colorado Springs to that man that I was dating. He was only supposed to be my guardian though, and I was supposed to go back to high school. And so she thought it'd be a good idea that he take care of me. So as I got shipped back to the United States, that isn't how it ended up at all. It ended up that the very first night I was there, he wanted to have sex. I felt at that time, okay, well, maybe this guy will love me. So I did. I ended up getting pregnant at that time too. He did decide to marry me, but he was a strict Catholic. And when we tried to go to the counseling with the priest, he wouldn't marry us because I really wasn't Catholic. I really wasn't anything. And his mom was a devout Catholic. They were very devout. So before the baby came, he decided we would just get married at the Justice of the Peace so that the baby would have a name. When we got married, he told me, and his mother would tell me constantly, now you know this marriage isn't real. Kept telling me that our marriage was not legal because God did not recognize our marriage because we were married at the Justice of the Peace. And at any time he could leave me. That left me not feeling any security at all. So I knew that at any time if I messed up or I did something wrong, that he could just check out. Well, we stopped having any kind of marital intercourse. There was nothing like that except for maybe once in a while. And then the one time I got pregnant again with my second daughter, Bobby. By this time, his mother is throwing a fit. He's calling me how stupid I am. Both his parents are blaming me for both the pregnancies, saying I was irresponsible, that their son he didn't know what he was doing. So at that point, it was just snowballed to where it was getting more miserable. And then finally, he turned me on to some cocaine. Once I got into the cocaine and the marijuana, it didn't matter to me about him or anything else. But he had made the decision it was time for a divorce. Well, I was a 18-year-old by then, high school dropout, no education, no money, no job. We went to court and the judge really looked at me sincerely and he said, I can't give you these kids, you have no means of support. So that was another dagger in me. And so as he ordered me out of the house, so as I went to go get my bag and I was walking away, all I remember the last time I heard from those two girls was they were screaming at the door saying, Mommy, Mommy, please don't leave. At that point, I had come back to Tulsa because my mother was here and I had decided all bets were off. I'm going full-fledged drug addict. At that time, she asked me to go to some church off of Sheridan. It was in a car lot. And I went with her that one time, and it was, to my surprise, Pastor Billy Joe and Sharon. He called me up there at the end of the service, and I was thinking, dude, man, I don't want to go up there. He calls me up there, and he says, you'll be gone for a while, but you'll be back. And I'm thinking, okay, I think you're getting high, and I'm getting ready to leave to go do that. He struck a chord inside of me, and the love was genuine from Pastor Billy Joe and Sharon. But that didn't make me stay. I left Tulsa again, and at the time I was really getting into some heavy-duty people. I was getting in with the Hells Angels out in California. Also, some moved here to Oklahoma. I was getting involved with them. I helped a young man escape from the penitentiary. I ended up going out towards Nevada, where I ended up homeless with no money, no nothing, spending every bit of money I had on drugs, and he was pimping me out. It was just going from one man to another. Whoever had the drugs, I traded my body for drugs. I traded my body for a place to stay. I've traded my body for food before. It was just, I was getting deeper and deeper into this hole that I couldn't seem to find my way out of. So that's basically how it went with him until he got caught and got sent back to the penitentiary. For some reason, I knew that God always had had his hand on my life, because if I would have got caught with him, I would have been put in prison forever. So anyways, as I remained homeless in Nevada and in California, I went back and forth. It was the roughest time of my life. There was no dream centers. There were no outreach of churches coming by on the streets at that time. I felt so grateful if I found a Circus coupon that had an all-you-can-eat buffet on it that was for free. I ended up with another man who had just gotten out of the penitentiary, was a very, very evil man. I have never experienced an evil spirit before in my life, until even then I knew that this was almost really, really dark. This man had hit me so hard with one punch that he had broke my nose in several places and left me laying there, was kicking me in my back and left me laying there. That by the next morning, when I was still throwing up blood, they finally got me to the ER. Once I got to the ER, the doctor told me, he said, "I got to give you a blood transfusion, and now you're in really bad shape." Of course, with this man glaring at me in the ER, the doctor asked me how it happened, and of course I told him that I slipped in the bathtub. This went on for a long period of time. That every time, at that time I was trying to work, I would come home and he would be there, and there was just this suck your life out of you spirit in that house that I had never experienced before. And he always told me, "I will kill you, I will kill your kids," and I believed him.